Got a new pen in the mail today, and I thought we'd open it together and check it out, ink it up, and write with it, see how it does. So this is a Jinhao 159 fountain pen. It is a pretty good knockoff of a Mont Blanc 149. Mont Blanc is a very expensive pen. This pen, on the other hand, was $9.99. So for $10, get a knockoff. Let's see, it says Jinhao. Let's see if we can zoom in. Jinhao 159. Main difference is the clasp looks different, and I'm not sure if this clasp is metal or plastic. So it says Jinhao 18 karat gold plate. And I think, not sure, but I think this is a medium nib. If I have the option, I usually pick a medium nib. So the only thing Mont Blanc that I have is this Cologne Star Walker, and this is their logo, Mont Blanc. It's about the only thing Mont Blanc I can afford. I've had this cologne probably 15 years, and it's made in France. It smells pretty good. So I've got some Noodlers Black. I've got some other ink on the way, but this will do for now. So this pen comes with a converter. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to run the plunger down and back up at least 2 times. And I have my paper towel ready. You can hear the air going out of just close this up. As relaxing ASMR says, you don't want to spill a bottle of fountain pen ink. Because if you do spill a bottle of fountain pen ink, it will ruin your day. And he may have that experience, but I do not yet, thankfully. So let's keep it that way. Got my Rhodia paper. So what are we going to write today? I'm very interested to see how a $9.99 $10 pen writes. I mean, it's a great looking pen. Post it. Nice. Let's see if we can force something down the feed. Oh, this is not good. Let me pause and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. That's better. I cleaned the nib with some Windex, get the oil off of it, and then got the ink flowing, so it's working now. That's better. Alright, so I've come up with some topics that we can write about. Just lists I've made. So let's write, how many cars have you owned? How many cars have you owned? We're up to, in our adult lifetime, 9. No, not all at the same time. This is over the last 20, 30 years. So my first car, that was a 1993 Ford Ranger. Then I bought a 1990 Jeep Cherokee Laredo. Then my first new car, was a Jeep Wrangler Columbia Edition. Then I had a 'Jeep Liberty 2008. Then I got a 2011 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. This was the first year of their redesign, and I wanted a diesel was less than. Back then, diesel was cheaper than regular gas. But soon after I bought it, it crept up and never came back down. Then kept that car for 3 years, and then I bought a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4. This Liberty was a 4x2. Of course, all Wranglers are 4x4. And this was 4x4. That was 4x2. See, this was a purchase. This was a purchase. This was a lease, which at the time they called it a Chrysler Gold Key lease or whatever. This was a lease. This was a purchase. This was a lease. And I traded this Volkswagen Jetta TDI. I traded it before I bought the Grand Cherokee. And I made money on the trade. And that was right before the Volkswagen Dieselgate. Dieselgate emission scandal broke. So I'm not sure if I would have made money after or not. So the Jeep Grand Cherokee, I had that for 3 years. We leased Chrysler 200S in 2015. Then we bought a purchase. Volkswagen CC Executive 2-liter turbo 2017. And number 9 was a purchase. Mercedes-Benz ML350 4MATIC. And that's a 2015. These two are current. And no plans to replace them anytime soon. my first real job. I had a summer job with a land surveyor my first year of college. But my first real job or career was in rental cars. 1999 to 2004. This was part-time, full-time while I was going to college. But we had a lot of different makes and models. So let's see if we can remember them all. So, and I worked for 2 different companies during this time. One was one of the big major companies, and then one was a smaller independent one. But so for Chevrolet, let's see, we had the Cavalier, and check means it was a good car. I liked it, and X was a bad car. I did not like the Cavalier. Chevrolet Prism was pretty much a Toyota Corolla. So out of those 2, the Prism I like better. Then we had the Malibu. It was okay. Nothing to write home about. Monte Carlo. It was okay. I don't really care for 2-door cars. And we had the Lumina, which was their full-size sedan. Again, basic, nothing to write home about. We had the Blazer. They were okay. We had the Chevy Venture minivan. No opinion. We had the Astro van. They're okay, kind of boxy. The Suburban. I like the Suburban. And then we had the Chevy Express 15-passenger van. And again, it did the job, but nothing spectacular. GMC, we didn't have a lot of GMC. We only had the Safari, which was the same thing as the Astro, just GMC's version. And the smaller company I worked for, we had the Savannah, Cutaway, 15-passenger minibus that you could rent. Alright, there we had, let's see, like a fit more on one page. Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile went out of business in the mid-2000s. But during my time, we had a lot of their cars. We had the Alero, which was a very nice car. Same thing as the Pontiac Grand Am, but I liked it better. We had the Intrigue. That was a pretty nice car. Had a 3.5 liter V6, and it was fast. For a four-door grandma car, that car would get up and go. And Oldsmobile made the Cutlass, and it was a clone of the Malibu. It was okay. And we had some dinosaurs left over from like 1998, so we had a couple of 88s. Didn't really like those. And we had the minivan, which was called the Silhouette, which was nicer than the Venture. And last on Oldsmobile, we had the Bravada. This was their SUV version of the Blazer. But it was nicer than a Blazer. And the funny part about the Bravada is it had no options available. You bought it like it was. You couldn't add anything or subtract anything. Then we had more GM, Pontiac. We had the Sunfire. Did not like. The Grand Am. That was okay. Grand Prix. A little bit bigger. A little bit faster. I think that had that same 3.5 liter V6. At the Bonneville. That was a nice car. And we had the Montana. And that's Pontiac's version of the Silhouette and the Venture minivan. And of course, being a GM company, we had more Buicks. We had the Century. It was okay. Pretty basic. Had the LeSabre. I think they redesigned them in 2000. So they were okay. The redesign was better. And the Park Avenue. Park Avenue was a nice car. V6. Pretty much as nice as a Cadillac, it just didn't have a V8. And we had Cadillacs. We had the Seville STS and the DeVille. I loved the 99 DeVille, but they had problems with the North Star V8. Let's see, then we had Ford. We had the Contour. Kind of like both Cadillacs I liked. Contour, not so much. Taurus, just regular. Mustang. I don't care for the Mustang. We had convertibles. Did not like. We had the Explorer. Like. Expedition. Like. Excursion. Like. Especially with the diesel. Continuing on with Ford, we had Windstar minivan. It was regular. We did get some with the VHS in them. Then we had the Freestar, which that replaced the Windstar. We had F-150s, pretty much work truck models. We had the E-150, Chateau, which was like a factory conversion van without the conversion. It was a Econoline van, 7-passenger, but it had a lot more room. And they also had VHS. We had two though. We had a 250 Chateau. And we had E-150, A-250 cargo. And we had an E-350. 15-passenger vans. And Mercury was still in business then. We had the Mystique. Do not recommend. We referred to this car as the Mercury Mistake. label. Again, just like the Taurus, it was regular, but pretty weak transmissions in the Sable. And the Grand Marquis. This car is indestructible. Panther platform, 4.6 V8. Very sought after now if you can find them with low mileage. Then we have Toyota. We had the Corolla. It was okay. Camry. I think one of the best cars of all time is a 2000 Toyota Camry. With what was that, a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder? Great car. Then we had the Avalon. I like the Avalon. V6. The Sienna minivan. They also had VHS. The Sienna is a great minivan. I think out of all the minivans, even today, I think the Sienna is top tier. Okay, Isuzu. In my last video, I couldn't decide whether it was spelled I-Z-U-Z-U or I-S-U-Z-U. It's I-S-U-Z-U. And we had the Rodeo and the Trooper. Back in the 80s, I thought the Troopers were ugly, but the 2000 Trooper, really nice. Another manufacturer, Mitsubishi. We had the Mirage. It's okay. Lancer. Okay. Galant. The Mitsubishi Galant was kind of a underdog. Basically, it was a Toyota Camry, but in Mitsubishi style. It was a great car. We had the Montero Sport. I really like those. We had the Diamante. And this was one of those cars that flew under the radar. Nobody knew a lot about it, but they were really nice. And then we had the Mitsubishi Fuso 24-foot box truck that you could rent. It was rated at 25,999 gross vehicle weight rating. Anything over 26,000 pounds, you need a CDL. So it was 1 pound under the limit. Pretty scary. Back in the dark days of Kia, we had the Spectra. This car was horrible. Every time we sent one out, it would come back with a check engine light. Usually it was a gas cap, but their electrical, they had a lot of electrical gremlins. The Amante. The Amante was okay. It was pretty nice. It kind of looked like the front kind of looked like a Mercedes, but missing the badges. It was just, it didn't know what it wanted to be, but it was rode nice. It had nice power. Right, then we had Hyundai. We had the Accent. Terrible car. Elantra. They were terrible, and then they redesigned them, and they were pretty good. The Sonata. I always liked the Sonata. The V6 back then, in the 99s, I thought the V6 was very smooth. It was good. I think that may be before the GDI crap. I don't like the GDI. The Santa Fe. I like those. They're pretty good. And here's another oddball. XG350. This was, I guess they were testing the waters for the Genesis line, and they came out with this car back then. I mean, it was a nice car, but I don't think they sold very many of them. We have Volvo. We had the S40. We had the S60 and the C70 convertible. The S40s they were pretty nice. I think they had a 5-cylinder. Maybe the S60 had a 5-cylinder. The C70s were nice, but every time we got ready to sell one when they were done with their rental life, the dashboard looked like a Christmas tree. There were lights everywhere. Here's a fun one. Does anybody remember Riviera. And Leganza. This was compact mid-size, full-size, if you will. The Leganza, of course, was the nicest of the three. I didn't like those two. But I don't know how many years they lasted. But they made TVs, they made electronics, and they built cars. They had no dealer network. I don't know where you go if you had to have warranty work done on them. Mazda. We had the Protege. Protege 5. We had the 6. And we had the Miata convertible with a 5-speed that nobody could drive. I could drive it, but nobody else could. Alright, Nissan. We had the Sentra. I didn't like this. The Sentra, I think, has gotten a lot better over the years, but I didn't like them back then. The Altima. It was okay. It was a running debate among people that worked there that if the Altima was better or the Camry was better. I was Team Camry. Maxima. Now the Maxima was too fast for its own good. The V6 in this car, I don't know if the traction control sucked on it or what, but you could really melt the tires off of those. And we had the Xterra. They were nice. Honda, believe it or not, the only Honda we ever had as a rental car was the Civic. And we only had 2 of them. Let's see that Honda Civic. Dodge. We had the Neon. It's okay. Stratus. Avenger. That was a 2-door. Not my favorite. Stratus was okay. I'd give it a small check. It was okay. They had weak transmissions. As a lot of Dodge products had weak transmissions during that time. We had the Intrepid. I like the Intrepid. We had the Grand Caravan. I like 1500 truck and cargo van. We had Chrysler. We had the Cirrus, which was a Dodge Stratus, but the Chrysler version. We had the Concorde. I like the Concorde. That was the version of the Intrepid. And we had the 300M. It's another Intrepid. And Jeep. We had the old style boxy Cherokee. We had the Grand Cherokee. And we had the Liberty. And towards the end of the smaller company's reign, they got some Lincolns. And they got the LS. And they got the town car. And that's it. So if you had any of these cars between 1999 and 2004, or you rented one of these cars during that time, let me know in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my rankings? I liked all the Jeeps. I like the LS. I like the town car. I like the Civic. I like the Protege 5. 6 was okay. Most of it was good. Miata. Alright, but yeah, that about does it. So, see you next time. I'll have another pen review coming up. So as you can see, for 10 bucks, it was a little hard to get started, but it writes pretty good for 10 bucks. I mean, you can't go wrong. And it looks the part. Nothing wrong with that. Alright guys, see you next time.